Alright guys, I have been talking and my mic is muted, and thank you very much Celine over in Twitch chat for pointing that out. I've been talking about like my goals here, what I'm trying to get done. So, you know, the various things I need for the minions right now are lava buckets. I just don't have any lava buckets for them at all yet. We got like 2, but since one of my goals is to have those ice minions running for a while to get a frozen side, you know, I'm going to need them to run faster. So I'm basically using my path that I'm building a mod for right now to kind of get a large amount of coal quickly. Since I have a bow pet, I can do that without having to worry about the heat, so it's kind of nice. And I can get iron while I'm down here too. That's also going to be helpful. There's a lot of iron along this path as well. That's kind of an iron and coal path. But since I got to the point with the heated reforged, I can actually instant break hardstone. I'm working on, you know, getting a couple of goals here, getting my lava buckets, getting my hardstone collection up so I can use Yogg armor. I've got Yoggies that I'm going to turn into Yogg armor instead of trying to upgrade my bow pet because I don't have any pristine at all right now. I did get a pristine book recipe. I just haven't, you know, I've got 40 gems to make and I've only got 22, I think, of the topaz. So I need 20 more fine topaz basically to put a pristine on this drill that I got, the gemstone drill. So yeah, that's kind of what the goal is here, is get this iron, get the coal, make some lava buckets. If I get chests and get some more powder. Celine, I don't normally do friend requests during streams, but since you were helping me out and reminding me my mic was turned off, I will add you as a friend. Yeah, if you want to send me a request. Very much appreciate you pointing that out for me. And then Sander, you had a question earlier over in YouTube chat, and I was talking and asking you if you could ask your question, and I had muted myself. So please ask your question whenever you have a chance there. So the other thing I'm going to be doing as I run across these little blocks of topaz, I'm going to switch out my pet and my drill here and grab the topaz as I run across it. Basically just take the heat. This armadillo will ever start moving. Still isn't moving. Come on, armadillo. There you go. Probably better to do that only when I have a worthwhile setup with lots of topaz. Alright, so Sanders' question was, if you have 150 million coins, what would you use it for? Because you don't know what to do with your money. It's going to be very dependent on your situation. Hey there, Note. Thanks for the sub. So, Sander, if you are into mining, you know, I need to know what kind of gear you've got to be able to really give you advice. If you're not into mining, you know, if you're doing anything else in the game, and you don't have a giant sword yet, I would say save up a little more and buy a giant sword. It's going to depend on what armor you have. There's a lot of variations that go into that. No, I don't normally look at profiles during streams just because it's a distraction from everything else going on. So I filled up my mining sack, and now I can make. I've got a super compactor, or not? I got a personal compactor with one item. So the problem is going to be I'll run out of basically space on that item. You know, I'll run out of space for hardstone too, right? I'll run out of space for, you know, whatever else I get. So I really need to upgrade that to a personal compactor 5000. I don't have the recipe for that yet, or even, you know, the blocks. There's a large number of blocks you need for that. So that's another thing I might work on at some point, is getting the redstone to unlock the greater accessory bag amount of talisman slots, and also that super compactor, sorry, personal compactor 5000 recipe, so I can have multiple things compressed automatically. It does. Also, I'm not even using my mining speed boost here, so that'd be helpful. Another thing I need to check and see is if I have enough speed with one piece of mineral armor to into the mine hardstone down here, and if so, that would be a better use of my gear in general. So let's just see what we have here. Down in this, I only have 1427, so I need to add more, like 100 more speed or 80 more speed to really be able to do this more efficiently with the miner, with the Wise pellet letting me break a lot more blocks than I have efficient miner for at the moment. Okay, and then we've got a nice big pile of topaz here, so we'll switch out our pet for a minute. It's topaz. I think convince my armadillo to ever actually move. That's good enough. Yeah, Celine mentioned over in Twitch chat that they have 5 mining sacks because they're tired of running out of space. I think that might be my long-term solution. I've got a cow minion out now. It's more enchanted leather. That was kind of one of the reasons why I didn't make a bunch more mining sacks, but it seems like that's a good idea in general. But I don't really ever fill up my... I'm not going to fill up my bag with like agrimony and whatever the other ones are right now, so might as well use those slots for something that helps me be productive longer. It's fine when I get to, you know, like the coal and stuff like this. It's going to be like when I run out of iron storage or I run out of hardstone's really the one that's going to pop up most frequently. But that'd be good because I need the hardstone for the Yogg armor anyway, so. Okay, there's some more armadillo going. Need an auto pet roll or something to be able to switch pets more quickly. So my end goal on Ironman is, but I don't really have one. I'm just playing. I started this kind of on a whim, just because I happen to have an opportunity to get a God Splash to start it all off with at the end of bingo, and I've been doing some Ironman, just kind of quick start guides for people, like here's how you do eggs, here's how you do this, and I figured it might be kind of fun to actually run an Ironman for a while. So I don't really have like an agenda per se, mostly just playing. I did get a Bal pet. I did get a, did not get a Skata pet or anything like that. Like that'd be crazy, but you know, it's kind of like one of those things that maneuver my poor armadillo around. Okay. Yeah, like Divin's Drill is kind of like, I guess, the peak in game for mining, right? But that takes so much luck, really. That's what all it is. Like, I like that thing that they did with the RNG meter for Slayers, right? That makes a lot of sense. That makes, you know, where you can go in and say, okay, you know, here's this doggies. You know, here's a way to, you know, actually progress in the game instead of just being all completely random. There's a bunch of stuff on my main I still haven't ever dropped myself, you know, like I never got an overflex, right? I never got a handle, you know. So it'd be nice if they added something like that for the Divin's Drill. I don't think they'll actually do it, but it'd be kind of great. There's one more chest in this room. I'll grab that real quick. I forgot to change my pet back to a bow pet, so I'm starting to build up heat. Get rid of that. Yeah, something mentioned over in Twitch chat. They've got a 6x5, but their hopes for Divins alloy are pretty low. And I kind of agree with that. It's just one of those things that's just going to have to happen eventually, right? Like, you got 750 commissions you got to finish to get the nucleus warp. So, it's a chance to spend a good number of those on nucleus runs. But on Ironman, it's so hard to get robot parts that it's just like bonkers to me that you've got this like really high expectation and there's no way to work towards actually getting something useful like that. It's going to be a maybe the whole time, a big strong maybe that you'll most likely never see. So I think 6x5 is kind of like the 6x5 and fully chambered Divins armor. You're doing pretty well for yourself there. You can make enough coins that you can buy stuff at the auction house. You can compete in the dark auctions. You're making enough to spend whatever coins you need to in the regular game flow of the game, generally speaking. So. Maybe my end goal will be 30 flower minions. That'd be kind of crazy. I guess you can do 31 now. Speaking of minions, though, I need to actually go collect my minion upgrade. I got a minion upgrade from the community hub thing, and I forgot about it. But that means I can put out another ice minion. We're at 28, 29's over here somewhere. $80 runs to get the Divins armor. I managed to get 3 Divins fragments in one run last night. It was bonkers. So I actually have 5 I have 5 fragments I should go put into the mines, to the forge. I can't remember what else you need on it though. Let's go take a look at that. I don't think I can do the armor until I hit Heart of the Mountain 7, right? Or 6, one of those two. So it's not even an option at the moment, but need to figure out the path for the gear too. Like, you make a mithril infused tank into a titanium tank, I think, right? Yeah. No, you just make this one. So, like, why would I spend time making a mithril tank? Like things like that. I just really haven't looked at the path here. This one's a little bit easier because it doesn't even require the plates. You just have to have the refined stuff in the fuel tanks, right? So, I don't know. See how that goes. Let's see. Fuel's okay. Yeah, the drill engines, the titanium there is really going to be the painful part. The one thing I could do for the helmet, at least, I can kind of change my setup here where I can swap out the helmet. I can't remember if there's an easier way of doing that, but the reason I want a helmet is basically it gives you a lot more speed going through like things, coal and iron and such, because you just basically break a whole lot more, even though it's just one piece. I think I could do is actually spend some time mining for topaz properly with the armadillo. Basically, like grinding it for the length of the armadillo's ability to walk, with a backup option of So the other thing I need to do is get 3 million coins together and get bits so I can start buying stuff that I need. Like god potions and other things like that. That would be great. Lots going on. So what I'm thinking here for the mineral helmet, at least, I can mind where I'm going. When I get there, if it's a big vein of coal, I can use the mineral helmet instead of the glaciite helmet to clear the actual vein, and then I can go back and switch to the glaciite helmet to get through the various blocks, right? Just goes so much faster with the mineral helmet on. At the same time, though, it's a lot of travel distance, between some of these points. It's not as fast as it could be. I did a whole video on this, essentially, like mining coal for and powder at the same time. It can be very good for both, Some of these are close together, like 5 or 6 blocks away from each other, but some of them are further away. A lot of them are further away. I'm working on the pathing part of this, where it makes the path automatically and tries to optimize it. Right now, I've got a very naive solution in place, so it needs a much better, smarter solution. One of the things I like about this is being able to get iron, since iron is such a painful part of Ironman, sadly, like just the way it is, but this gets a lot of iron too. Some of these chunks of iron and coal are really, really big. Baby Rex, man, I just don't know what's happening for you there. Are you using the mage set, or are you using the tank set? What are you trying? How are you going about trying to get the Dreadlords?
I just want to go back.
Coal for me right now is this is my Ironman, right? So my Ironman needs lots of enchanted lava and buckets for the minions. So I'm doing coal, and I haven't even been paying attention to see how much I'm getting. So I'm gonna have a fair amount of enchanted coal here. So let's get some iron here and see. Need 3 enchanted iron per 2 coal blocks. So there's 1 bucket. So now I need, let's see here. Got 2 already, so I need 12 more for my existing minions, right? And then I need enough for other minions too. But for, you know, I don't know, 30 minutes of work, that's not too bad. Almost enough for another one too. Anyways, yeah, so that's the point right here, is the enchanted lava buckets. If I had, you know, just a bit more speed, right? I could spend powder I've got on mining speed in about 1,000 powder or so. That's only going to get me another 20 speed. But it's going to get me pretty close. So I don't know. It might be worth looking at. Yeah, so lava buckets went up because coal went up because you know, the gabagool recipe change made coal one of the most expensive parts of the recipe. So people are making more, they're using more enchanted coal than they used to, right? So more enchanted coal being taken out of the market means there's less available for making lava buckets. I've been debating doing lava buckets versus coal on my main. We got a fair amount of this path on my main makes ridiculous amounts of coal. Like half the path is like 5,000 enchanted coal or something like that, more than that. So I've been occasionally swapping over to my main and playing on that just to get the extra coal right now. Check and see how much topaz I still need. Pretty significant amount. I want to say I'm only at like 22. Yeah, we're 22 right now. Should probably use my person packing for this and just switch it back to e-coal in a minute. I get kind of lazy about changing stuff out of my personal packer, but really I should be doing it. So another 16 and I can get pristine, and that's going to change the game significantly once I get to that point. See how much nicer it is to have that just a few extra speed on the hardstone. And at the same time, how much nicer it is to have that extra fighting fortune or extra breaking ability from the mineral armor. So it's kind of like this constant trade-off. When it's close together, it's not bad. It's just going to be like when I travel between long distances, I want to swap those out. Some of these are from the YouTube video, yeah. I've not actually released these as coordinates, so I was just kind of using them to demonstrate when I was doing the video. It's a pretty good little topaz cluster here, though. I'm going to take advantage of it. The problem with the armadillo is that the armadillo doesn't want to move right away. I'll end up having to like waste all the armadillo speed and stuff. One of the other crazy things in this profile is I've got more gemstone powder than mithril powder. Like 514,000 gemstone and maybe 475,000 mithril-ish. That's kind of crazy. So the Dreadlord sword's great. You know, Frozen Side is going to be good. The thing about the Dreadlord sword is if you're doing any kind of dungeon, it's going to be better than your Frozen Side. As you get better, as your category level goes up and stuff. You know, it's not a bad weapon. You know, the more intelligence you put behind it, the more damage it's going to do, right? So, you know, it's a high potential. So nice to be able to just tear through this stuff. So it's still worth trying to get one. It also makes getting higher floor weapons easier, right? Higher floor weapons and armor because you have a distance weapon. So even when you're lower kata, you won't have to have quite so much trouble. Okay, so this is one of the ones that goes up around a topaz vein. There's gonna be a bunch of coal and iron and stuff up here too. I'm going to switch out my helmet again. I'm grabbing redstone whenever I see it because I still need to get my redstone greater accessory bag unlocked. Out of space right now, I can't make any more, or can't store any more talismans. I do need the redstone blocks eventually to make lots of personal compactor type upgrades. So lots of things to do with this. That's done. I don't even know how much redstone I have anymore. Enough for one block at least. So I need 12 more blocks. 12, let's see. 14 more blocks, I think, for a personal compactor. 5,000, which I'll get the recipe for pretty soon. Another 40,000 redstone, that's not too far off. And then Hearthstone, closing in on that goal there. I need another 18,000. I'll be able to make Yogg armor, which would be great. All right, Celine, thanks for stopping by. Sorry I didn't see your message saying you were leaving, but appreciate your best wishes there as well. And I hope that you have some Divins luck. Celine's trying to give me a new catchphrase here for the end of my streams. All right, let's see here. Where was that? 17. is one of the reasons why I like this little setup I've got in the mod I'm making. Being able to figure out like where you are and where you're supposed to go next, a lot of times can be challenging when you're dealing with a whole bunch of points. The other thing this does is it only shows you the points that are around you within a certain distance, so you don't end up running around all over the place, unable to find where you're supposed to be. I'm going to use our armadillo pet again here. Topaz. Oh man, that's bad luck, Baby Brax. You dropped two right as you were trying to get them. The one thing you can do, are you doing entrances or are you doing higher level floors? One of the questions still. And I'm not sure about your question on paper. I think it's just the default, maybe like the default text there. If you don't enter anything, it just says paper, because it's an Anvil renaming Anvil thing from like regular Minecraft that they're reusing. So I think it just kind of defaults to a value. So it's probably just people putting in blank and it just says paper. doing F1s. So you can try entrance where you can dominate the newbie players and see if you can get Dreadboard toward that way. You've got some XP under your belt now, so your cattle level's high enough that you can probably have an easier time getting things than they do. Alright. We've filled up the mining stack with coal again, which means we have another, probably 2 blocks. I can probably make another lava bucket. I didn't do that out, but I'm just going to keep grinding for a while. Got about 40 minutes left here I can stream, and then I'm going to have to take a break. I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use my mining speed boost to cut paths ahead when I have a boost. And then come back and get my, piles of coal and whatnot. So I don't run that far ahead, and I can make a lot more progress forward quickly, while I'm getting that speed boost. See, some of these coal areas are just gigantic. They're basically where multiple veins come across each other, right? But they're going down and down and down in this one. Less than 1,000 powder, I can do another upgrade, but it won't be enough. I'm kind of debating whether or not I should just go grind some powder chests real quick to get that last little bit of powder. So the trick to running dungeon solo is to offer a carry and then go into a floor they can't enter. So it's not really going to help you out much, is what I'm saying. But that's why you see all those people doing frag runs or whatever. They try to help on entrance and they're cat at 27, they're going immediately into F7. Kind of wrong. It's a mean thing to do to people, but... Oh, did you just get one? Said yes. Sounds like a Dreadlord sword to me. What'd you get, 4-1 or entrance? Yeah, so an entrance sword is going to be pretty much just as good as a 4-1, like mid-level sword, in terms of what you're trying to do with it. So, not a bad thing to have. Oh, I still have my armadillo out, but I've also got this giant chunk of mithril here. I can just kind of climb to the top of it and use that armadillo, I bet. The reason I wanted to do this little mithril patch was to get my last 1,000 powder or so. I don't know if I'm going to get it from this. Let's see. Yeah, only about 500. Another one of those, or another one or two of those, and I'll be able to do that. Wow, yeah, Dreadlord Bestiary 3 is pretty high for your first Dreadlord try. Okay, I'm sitting here melting because I forgot to pull my bow pit out. Let's go back to the grind here. To refuel my drill at some point soon. How'd you get a textbook without a sheet pet? A textbook was harder than a sheet pet. So a sheet pet's going to be pretty good. What I would say working on, just because it's a sheet pet, really, like you can get minions to the sheep stuff, but you know, you want to get shadow goggles or dark goggles first, but shadow goggles are going to be like your kind of end goal there to increase your damage and stuff. So the other thing that Dreadlord sword is useful for, outside of the dungeons, right? Not even talking about dungeons here. Go and grind the goblins with it, and you can make a good amount of coins per hour. And then aside from that, you know, well, really any kind of like grind you want to do, but once you get the dark goggles and a good set of armor and like maybe your ender monocles or whatever, you can one-shot zealots with it. Even with an entrance sword if you have enough intelligence. So that's another thing to keep in mind, is that you can use that for a number of things. Figure out what the coal breaking power is to do instant mining. So the before set, I guess, is going to be outside the dungeon. The best is going to be your crystal set. Now, a good set of wise dungeon armor from skeleton soldiers, right, is going to also be very good. So the other thing, that sword has, I think, luck 5 on it, maybe comes with that. That's going to help you drop a lot more armor than you would have otherwise, right? So you really just need to kind of focus on getting an epic set of armor, whatever flavor. Like for the end armor is great. Like if you can get end armor, it's going to be a lot easier to do like the one tap on zealots and stuff. If you can't, it doesn't really matter all that much, but you can get by with a good set of dungeon armor, of epic dungeon armor of any variety, really. I finally ran my armadillo out of energy, so I'm going to have to let it hang out for a bit. Just take on some heat while it recharges. the drawback of using the armadillo pet to get the various things. You gotta manage its energy pretty carefully. Basically, I'm just gonna wait until I'm about to die from heat and then pull my valve pad out and let myself cool off. But in the meantime, the armadillo will regain its energy. Yeah, you don't want rotten. Rotten's going to have like low. It's going to be epic. You want things that you can get that are epic armors, so that you get more intelligence out of it. Like an epic skeleton soldier, skeleton grunt, whatever those are. It doesn't really matter. You can mix and match, do whatever you need to. Just you want to get an epic set of dungeon armor. And when you put Ys on it, it gives you like 100 intelligence. So yeah, once you have a dreadlord, hitting like the sheep in the oasis or grinding the farm animals in the barn area, you can outcompete pretty much everyone that's there. So it's a pretty good time to start doing some of those things that normally would have been a lot of running around, fighting with other people over resources. You just sit on top of the barn, throw an ender pearl up there to get yourself up, and sit up on top of the barn shooting the cows and stuff that spawn on the other sides, or chickens or pigs or whatever. Now sheep, you got to go back over to the oasis area, but it'd be easier to grind just because you don't have to be like right up close to them to get them. That's what I'm saying. Like you want the maximum amount of mana outside of the dungeons that you can get. So whatever the reforge, the talisman reforge is, that gives you mana. The low one, I can't remember what that is. Getting sighted, getting to combat 20, so you can use sighted. That's another like area that you should focus on. All these things that basically increase intelligence, like you want to do your experiments, you want to do your alchemy, which you can't do right now because they've disabled the brewing stands again, but you get the idea. Like the more that you can do, the better off you're going to be long term. The more talismans you get, all the cheap and easy talismans, just go grab those real quick. They're not too terribly difficult to get, a lot of them. Higher rarity talismans, higher rarity you go, the better magic power you get. So, but anyways, all those things are kind of your next steps here. Now you have a weapon that can help you grind those things more easily. I would start with the dungeon armor, really. Like you can do entrance. You can, I think, to get some of those. Like shouldn't be. It doesn't really matter outside the dungeons. The thing that matters is the rarity, so that Ys will give you enough intelligence. And obviously, if you're going to be doing, skellet grinding or stuff like that, that's when you want to have that end armor, which is also an epic rarity. There's a whole lot of stuff here, so I'm going to switch over to my armadillo pet. See how much energy it has. Aha. Alright, I'll need to go visit the drill mechanic soon. I'll start looking for an exit from here. Alright, I should probably figure out my coal situation here and see how much coal I've got. Hey Zach, it's going pretty good. We're getting some lava buckets. It's the main goal right now. Okay, so 10 more lava buckets to go at some point. Not sure I'm gonna try to finish those right now. Alright, so the other thing I need to do is go to the hub and get a minion slot, like the free minion slot upgrade things happened here. Oh, I've got an hour left. That's annoying. I thought this would be done. Guess not. So in an hour, I'll be able to get an extra minion slot, which will be nice. Seven gems to skip it. I would, but I'm trying not to use gems on this profile. Alright. Run to the bank here. I think I'm still like 15 minion slots away, or minions, yeah, 14 unique minions for a 16th slot. So I'll get the one from the community center, and then I'll have another bit of a grind. I get 17 minions. That's not too far out. One of the questions is, how long do I want to keep my cow minion running for? I know I need a couple more sacks at least. I made a gemstone gauntlet earlier. Didn't really get a good setup on it, so I kind of want to do that some more. So it might make sense to have like a bunch of cow minions, but see, the problem is I don't have a bunch of super compactors. I brought a bunch of cow minions, so complications to everything. Alright, so for now I'm just going to change out some of these guys' fuels for the buckets. I'll empty these guys real quick too and see what we've got. These are fairly okay for mining XP. With the diamond blocks in there help with that a lot, I think. Alright, so I was upgrading to tier, what, 9? 128 more ice. Might have that actually. And so I need to figure out a habit. I need to get into the habit of like buying the ice every time I do the experiment table. Because you can get a fair amount of ice from the builder. Okay. Oh, enchanted ice. That's what once. I don't know how much I could make. Not 128, that's for sure. So it might be better to upgrade some more minions first. Oh, these guys are all on. I think these guys are all on enchanted ice now. Yep, okay. So I do have some other minions though that are not upgraded yet, so that'd be a good time to do these guys. Okay. Okay, so there's 2 minions there, and then I'm gonna have to make some more minions eventually, so that's gonna be kind of problematic. Got 15 of these guys, I think, so if I have another slot here, and then maybe make another 2 slots in the near future, I'm gonna end up with not having enough minions anymore. So let's take a look and see where they're at on collection. We've got the Frozen Blaze collection earlier. They're halfway to auger rods at this point, so I'll need to figure out how much they're making per day. I only need a stack of enchanted packed ice, right? So it shouldn't be mind-bogglingly long. It's probably like a month or something kind of dumb like that. But the more minions I can throw at, the better off it'll be. And of course, obviously getting the enchanted lava buckets makes it easier to keep them going longer too, so. You know, Jerry events and things like that will help me get more ice. If I run mostly ice grinding during the Jerry festivals, probably grind out some more too, so. Then I've got 2 minions I'm not using yet. 3 actually. 4 with the cow, so you can see I've got quite a bit more room for expanding the ice operation here. 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 minions doing ice right now, then 2 more. My oak minion, I'm debating picking up my oak minion soon. Like, it's been running along for a while. I may just want to make 1 large storage just to have it. Another thing I could do with this minion is take away its hopper and use a large storage instead. So I stop selling stuff from it. I can make another super compactor too. That's another good option. He only has the 1 super compactor. Oh, I need to get rid of these fish. All these trophy fish. When I was messing around the other day, I can get my magma collection up higher. My magma fish collection. Alright, so the silver magma fish recipe and the magma rod recipe now. That's kind of cool. Don't think I could kill anything that I fished up. That'd be kind of funny though. I remember what the rod recipe is. I think it's just like that, maybe? No? I actually looked at the actual recipe. 5. Oh, silver magma fish. How many of those can I make? I can make 1 rod right now. Ooh, fishing speed. That's a good one. Infection's not great, but fishing speed's good. I'm gonna hang on to that for now. Can't even use it till fishing 27, so I've got a long way to go for that. And gear away here. Ooh, lava. There's going to be another eruption. I might as well gather some sulfur wand here. I don't really need sulfur for anything in particular, but it doesn't hurt to gather it while I'm having the opportunity. Looks like this server's mostly been neglected. Oh, maybe not. Usually there's a bunch of like sulfur like in these places when you haven't had an eruption, or when you have an eruption, like there's this like north-south line that happens, east-west line. So since we're close to an eruption here, this is low. Low's not going to last very long, so that may not actually be a good time to do any of this. This thing's labeled dinner bone. That's awesome. Mirren says, do you need to invest more powder to the next mining speed tick at the expense of fortune? Depends on your level of pristine. If you're maxed out pristine, the fortune's probably... Well, it also depends on how long you're going to be mining. Like, if you're going to be mining all the time, you know, the higher speed's going to make an impact. But Are you asking if you should do heated versus auspicious on your trim, on your drill? As far as I'm aware, my mic's the same in both videos and during the stream. If it's worse off, I don't really know. Could be a video bitrate problem, I guess. Oh, come on. I actually had this. I didn't get any of those. I punched them a bunch, but maybe they increase the number of times you have to punch them. I don't know. You have to wait 10 minutes to be able to get another one. That's what I get for being distracted while doing stuff. I don't even know where I put the heavy pearls in this one. There's two more ability talismans I haven't even bothered with yet, and that's the day crystal and night crystals. So I might grind those out at some point and grab what I can right now, but there are 11 more milliseconds until next tick. Okay. Yeah, I think you're probably better off, like, long term with the faster tick rate. If you're doing like Jade in the Mines of Divin or something like that, where you're going to be going constantly on like large quantities of gem veins for a really long time, those ticks add up, right? So that's where you get the extra stuff. Now, Fortune, you know, you're eventually going to get more powder anyway, right? So Fortune goes with Pristine really well. That's something that you really need to pay attention to, but being able to break it ever so slightly faster also adds up, and you get gem powder every time you break it. So if you think about it that way, like, you'll get more gem powder overall to unlock the Fortune if you've got that next tick on your gem breaking. So you think of it that way too. You're basically like spending the time now, or spending less time overall to get the more gem powder to undo the change you just did. I think that very clearly. Yeah, AFKing goblins is like a really, really great thing once you have got the stats for it. Here's a minion expander too. My minions go faster, so if I want to expand my ice operation, I can spend a whole lot of coins or a whole lot of time grinding enchanted quartz. That's probably, I don't know, maybe it's worthwhile long term. It's 5% more speed off the minions. basically the equivalent of a 30% lava bucket instead of a 25%. Problem is I can't get bits yet. I need 3 million coins to get a cookie so I can start getting bits, so I can start doing like heat cores and maybe combining lava buckets. And I've got a lot of lava buckets to grind, and it's going to be a whole process. But I've got to start with getting coins, and everything I've been mining I've been putting right back into, you know, the materials, right back into doing different parts, components, and things. So I'm not making any real coins from mining at all, because I'm not selling any of the stuff that I'm generating. Yeah, day and night crystals are the talismans I've forgotten about. They take a lot of quartz though. The other thing is I can buy a bunch of quartz from the builder. So long term, it might be better to do that. But I'm here and there's a lot of quartz available. This is like so much easier than it used to be. Like quartz was like so toxic. It was like one of the original toxic mining things. was grinding quartz. And that was before, you know, Juju and all those other things. But back in the old Nether Island, there just wasn't a lot of quartz available, so it was a really painful process. Oh yeah, if you got the gauntlet, it's good for grinding out all the rest of your parts, but you should definitely get the drill going. Should be one of your side quests. Sorry, you're thinking maybe Day Saber. We're talking about these night crystals, right? It's a rare accessory in the day crystal. Basically, it's the same. It's almost the same recipe, right? A block of quartz around in the middle of the enchanted torches. So obviously, you got to get quite a bit of quartz for those. I don't know how much I have right now. A couple thousand. I'm going to say that this is actually not bad at all in terms of making minion expanders. That didn't take as much time as I thought it would. This is enough for 1.5. I could actually go ahead and make one right now. I think I'm going to. Because then I can race my non-expanded minions with my expanded minions and see which one's actually, or how much better it is. Jasper drills could be fairly easy to put together, so that might be an option. I don't really have a strong opinion on that. This guy is probably going to be our new candidate for the minion expander guy. Oh, he might be too close. Lava bucket. I can make him move him over one and not to worry about having wasted materials. It does make more ice more quickly, but it's going to be at the expense of not getting diamonds anymore. So, another consideration. I was kind of using these guys to get my enchanted diamond collection up. So timing-wise, you know, the other thing with ice minions is that their speed is pretty good. 6.9 versus 7.2. So it's like 0.3 seconds faster, which adds up significantly in the end. You can see this guy here is like another. Actually, do I have any tier 9s? I don't think I have any tier 9 guys yet. These are both tier 8s, so they're going at the same speed. So tier 9 is 1 second faster overall, so it's going to be. Oh, this guy. Here's the other thing. This guy's using coal and charcoal, and he's going at 7.5. This guy's got the minion expander and everything else. He's going at 6.9, so 0.6 seconds faster per action. So the difference between adding minion expanders and lava buckets is pretty significant in the long run. More than almost 10% more. Well, it would be 10% more, I guess. That makes sense for the lava bucket and everything else. But anyways, so yeah, I think that's going to be a new potential pastime, doing the lava buckets, doing the long-term, doing the minion expanders, etc. Now, the other thing that minion expanders are useful for is when you actually come back and mine manually, right? These guys make extra blocks, so if you come in and do a manual mining on them, which I don't know if I you can set it up so that this is like an easy manual mine for you, and you're going at basically twice the speed of the minions. When you do that, you need a better floor for that, though, because I'm going to tear holes all through this, but I'm not careful. But you know, this is another way to like accelerate your ice collection. Is just set them all up so you can mine their ice manually, and just hop back to the server every once in a while to clear them out. Ice breaks so fast, dude. It doesn't take hardly any time. I'll have to build a whole area just for this, probably out of dirt or something. It's not easily broken by the pickaxes. Oh, we used to do diamonds back in the day, and we'd plant up a bunch of minions and grind away on the diamonds that they spawned. I just realized I did all that work. I don't have a Jerry sack. I'm not getting any ice in my inventory. That's because this pickaxe doesn't do silk touch. I just wasted all that ice. Anyways, yeah. Other things to consider. You could waste all your ice. Alright, let's see here. Just chests. Where's my sulfur? So sulfur wise, I've got a long way to go for anything in that collection. Need to get a small nether stack is really kind of the goal, which requires K to night, K to lead, so I gotta be able to kill those things, which is gonna be a huge pain. But doable, because it's only 20 of them. Then Totem of Corruption, you know, magma chunks are gonna be the challenge there. Gotta be able to kill the magmas to get the magma chunks. So, anyways, I'm about out of time for now. I think that we'll leave these guys running, and we'll actually, I was going to do two things. So go to this guy. I'm going to empty this guy. I want to test those against each other eventually. But later on, I'll need to do more E-lava buckets, so I'll be working on that at some point. And then I need to do more Heart of the Mountain grind. Obviously, I'm making progress for Heart of the Mountain 6. I need to do ruby grinding to get gemstones for the craft materials for the gauntlet, and then also for the collection itself. So a lot of things to do. I'm going to be live later today, yeah. It's just going to be probably another couple hours here. So That one will probably be a longer session. Anyways, until then, I'll see you guys later on. Have a good afternoon. Bye.